Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This video we are exploring if Posca pens work on black paper. So if you are interested, stay tuned and we'll check that out. So we got a little needy guest here, a little cat. So the first thing we're going to do, open up our black paper. This one is Mont Marte. It's just an A5 pad at 140 GSM. So open it up. Do we want to do landscape or portrait? Maybe let's do portrait to do some swatches, and then we can flip it if there's room to do some drawings. Alright, so we've got the pastel set plus a few extras. We'll just go through and start swatching. Yeah, very, very helpful, thank you. Yep. So here's the swatches for the colours that I had already, and if you saw my other video where I unboxed all of these colours and swatched them, you would know which colours these are. But I've recently picked up two more colours, so it is the black in the 1M, because that was not in stock at the time, and the other one is the light green in a 3M as well. So we'll open these two up and we'll add them to our swatches. You can see it's coming down the nib. Ooh! Did you... Oh, I've got a cat on me, this is hard to do. The paint just flew straight out as I shook it, so be careful with that. Okay. Didn't have this issue with the last one, so that's interesting. That's just flying out. I'm not sure what's going on here with the splatter, but in terms of how the Poscas are interacting with the paper, they are a little bit sort of splotchy, so I think because it is a dark paper, you might have to go over it, but I'm not seeing any pilling, which is good. So I think in terms of the 140 GSM, it's working well so far. There's no bleed through on the other side, so it's looking promising. So let's dive in and do some drawings. So it's a bit hard to see, but I have sketched out some potion bottles and now we're going to colour them in. Going to outline with our 1M white. Alright, I just realised I'm leaning on top of the, like in front of the camera, so I'm gonna have to, I'll try not to do that. But I thought I would just mention that these stoppers, they do come into the bottle, but I'm not colouring that in just at the moment, because we don't know what we're gonna do with the liquid inside, so I thought we'll just keep it at the outsides for now, and then we'll go in with the white once we know what we're doing. Alright, now we've got the outlines done. I'm going to decide on the colours. So I think we will start up here, and I don't know if we'll go in order, but we'll start with this one. So I don't think we really have a true sort of ready pink to go for this sort of love potion. If you can kind of see, it's got a love heart shape. But I think our best bet is going to be this coral colour, so we'll start there. I think keeping this sort of a little bit of a border around the edges is interesting. I think I'm going to have to go over it once again once this dries, because as you can see, you can kind of see through it onto the black paper. So we'll let that dry and do that one again. What colour would go best? Maybe this aqua green might work for the stopper. Thought I'd bring the green down into other places, which I think it looks good there, but I don't like it there, so I'm gonna have to cover that up with the black in a minute once that dries. I think that's still a little bit wet, so we'll wait a little bit longer on that one. And while we wait, I will write in love potion. Colouring it in this way so I know where the edges of the box is. I think the more I look at it, I don't mind that green, so I might just leave that there. But as for this one, I think I'll colour in this gold with a gold chain around it. Gonna lose that, but it's alright, we will use the white or black to bring back that definition. I think this bronze is the most opaque on the black. Maybe the silver is, yeah, definitely the gold, maybe the bronze and the silver are the most opaque on this paper. Two coats seem to be enough to cover. I mean, you can see it's pretty well covered here. With the blue, it's still a little patchy. Gold is very liquidy for some reason compared to the others, because it just flows out. You can see here that the paper did pill a little bit, and yellow seems to be the least opaque on the black paper. Okay, a 3M is not great for lining, because as you can see, it's a lot thicker than the white, which is not exactly the look I was going for, so I'm going to go around it with the black once it dries. You can see as this one has dried more, it's sort of the paper has ripped up a little bit, and I don't know if that's because I was pressing even more, because the yellow seems to be the less opaque on this paper, but it definitely ripped up a bit more. So the paper in general seems to be quite decent, and I don't know if it's the fact that it's 140 GSM or that it feels like a, does it tell you? It doesn't say, but I'm wondering if it's like hot press, because it's very smooth. You can probably hear the birds in the background. I'm yelling at my cats. But yes, it's generally, it doesn't rip up that much, but when you go over it, it does a bit. I mean, I went over it in these spots and it didn't rip up, so I think maybe it's a pressure thing perhaps, but generally it's not too bad. We've got our little fluffy friend back because she's making a lot of noise wanting cuddles. What's next, Rosie? Yep. Alright, so we got all our potions here. You can see in certain ones like this one and this one, I tried to sort of merge and blend the colours a little bit. I think as a first try blending, I did an okay job. I can definitely improve it. I just tried blending using the different markers, as you saw. I've seen different methods using some water, or you use your finger, so I'll try different methods out next time, but for that method, it worked okay. Generally, on black paper, it does look like the opacity is not as good as white paper, because if you saw the last video where I tested two different types of paper out, it did seem like the opacity was really good for these pens, but obviously on black paper it's not as good, so you need to go over a few times, which can make the paper peel just a little bit, but it's not too bad. So in terms of paper, at 140 GSM for these Posca pens is pretty good. The majority of these pens are a 5M, but there are 1Ms and 3Ms. I think for fine details, the 5M is just a touch too thick. The 3M was a little better, and then the 1M was great for lining and drawing the words. Still a little hard, as you can see. It was sort of, excuse me. As you can see, the words were blending, sort of bleeding just a little bit together. But I think for our potions, it worked quite well. So if you have any ideas or recommendations that you want me to draw next, let me know. And if there are any questions that you have about the Posca pens, I'm going to be making a video covering different questions like opacity, papers, surfaces, nib sizes. I had a question about what they smell like, if there's any sort of perfume to them, all those sorts of things. So if you have any questions, leave them in the description, because I will be making a video about all of that soon. Don't forget that I have 2 videos already up on Posca pens, trying out different types of papers, testing out the pastel range, sizes, things like that. So if you are interested in seeing how they work on different types of paper, definitely check those videos out. I will leave a link over here. And if you're in art block at the moment, I would definitely recommend these videos. They are some great concept art and art ideas, things like that in these videos. So if you are stuck for something to draw, I'd definitely check out these videos. So hope you enjoyed, and I will see you on Monday. Bye. Excuse me. Can you get off? Yeah.